rendering a list of questions, right? And we see that we have access to the instance that we are being passed of the question. So there it is. We have a couple of true, false, and a multiple choice. Let's render them differently. We know that the true, false, right, is going to have input fields. So let's see how we can render it. So let's head over to the true, false, and we have the title of the question. We might also want the actual question, so we can do question dot the actual question. There's a true, false. Perhaps we want it to be in a separate line, so we'll do this H4 here, and this will be H5. There we have. So we have the true, false, and then here's the question. JPA stands for Java Persistence API, and we need to be able to select whether it's true or false. Right, so how do we do that? We use input fields of type radio. Right, and we will have true, two radio buttons, one for true and one for false. Then we have true, false, right? Render for both true. There's two true, false questions, and you can choose them. You can select them. But notice that right now all these true, false are not mutually exclusive, right? So they're not quite behaving the way they're supposed to. So to make them mutually exclusive, they have to belong to the same name. So we have a name here, and this name has to be the same so that they are mutually exclusive. So these questions that I'm asking here, some of them are JPA. So let's give it just a name. You know, these two are the same. Okay, and so now if I go back, notice that they are mutually exclusive, right? But notice that they seem to be mutually exclusive amongst all of them. See that? Amongst different questions, which makes no sense, right? We have to instead make them mutually exclusive amongst this group, and then separate with this group. So to make them uniquely independent of each other per question, we can use the ID of the question as a unique identifier, right, for the name that makes these two mutually exclusive, right? So we can say that this is going to be the question dot ID, right? That would make this it's the same ID for in the same question, right? But it's different ID across questions. Right? So if I go back now, notice that this is now mutually exclusive amongst each other, right? But it's mutually exclusive across multiple questions, which is perfect. The other thing here is that we might add a break so that they are rendered vertically, and also notice that especially in a small screen, it's very hard to click on each on the radio button. So to make this a little bit easier on everybody, we can make the clickable area a little bit bigger. We can make the clickable area a little bit bigger. For instance, For instance, if I would click on the text, it'd be nice if it would also select the radio button. So to achieve that, we can wrap this whole thing in a label, right, so that the whole thing becomes clickable. There we go, something like this. So if I go back now, I can just click on the text, right, and the whole thing becomes selected. Again, that's only to make the user experience a little better.